I am my phone, and he starts to look, his eyes widened at the increasingly graphic nature of the fan fiction. In a public nightclub, too. Did you? Is this the kind of stuff you like, Jim? Do you want me to drag you to the back of a club and take you off myself? I spot a note on the bedside table. I left some breakfast for you in the fridge. That's so nice. Please refrain from going outside. If you have to, call me first. Rest up, Jim. I'll see you again tonight. I noticed an additional note at the bottom. P.S. I didn't get a single wink of sleep thanks to somebody. I won't name names. It actually is your fault. Cause see, if you had just done the deed, he probably could have actually got some sleep. You know? Cause once I give him that mahoy me noi, I spend most of the day sitting around and reading, flipping through the TV. There was a special showing on about heroes. Despite Binary Star being rated top hero, there wasn't actually much information about him. His parents died when he was young, and he was taken in by the top hero at the time, Still Sheriff. Still Sheriff lovingly raised him as a normal boy, also training him into the hero that we know today. I decided to search Still Sheriff on the internet to learn more about him. 10 reasons why Still Sheriff is a true golden age hero. Still Sheriff is reaching his 60s, but even in retirement, he isn't slowing down. All of the top result articles felt very PR driven. I decided to check social media to get a better understanding of common opinion. The first result that appeared was a thread from a couple of weeks ago that amassed 120k likes. Thread, Still Sheriff got away with everything. We should be talking about it. I click in the thread and start to read. During the golden age of heroes in the 80s, Still Sheriff was quite popular. Now he seems to be living remotely and out of the spotlight as his name has been steeped in controversy. The thread was long, but essentially it was boiled down to a gross misuse of power. Still Sheriff has been accused of many sexual assaults, and worse. Not only that, but he seems to have been blatantly homophobic and misogynistic in the past. Yikes. After retirement, he spiraled into alcoholism and lives in the remote area of Oklahoma. Nobody sees much of him anymore, but his 60th birthday coming up has reunited feelings about him amongst the populace. I can't help but to wonder how having someone like that as a caretaker may have impacted Ray. Terribly. Apparently, Ray never had any brothers or sisters, so after his parents passed away, Still Sheriff was the only one that Ray could call family. I wonder how Ray feels about him. I decided to shake the weird feeling and change to this channel. It lands on the news. Across the screen shows some heroes fighting an alien. I watched the live news segment, and I don't catch the familiar flash of blue. But I don't catch a familiar flash of blue and blonde and red. I thought Ray said he had work today. I try and shrug off the suspicion. I'm sure heroes also have assignments that aren't in the public eye. While scrolling... Wait, what is he doing? While scrolling on social media, I see somebody talking about fan fiction writing tips. I wonder if Ray has fan fiction written about him. I searched up some fanfics of Binary Star. Most of them were admittedly great portrayals of Binary Star. That is shown in the media. I can't help but to laugh to myself about the difference between the fan portrayal of Binary Star and how Ray actually acts. At the nightclub. As the nightclub continued around them, Binary Star leaned in closer, his voice becoming softer. Why in? Her smile has the power to ignite a light within me, a light that burns brighter than any danger I face. I have fallen deeply in love with you. Wyan's breath caught in her throat. As she stared into Binary Star's mesmerizing red eyes, a wave of emotions washed over her, threatening to pull her into the sea, and she found herself unable to form words. Instead, she expressed her feelings through a heartfelt smile that mirrored his own. Wyan's heart soared at his words, her eyes shining with unspoken affection. She felt a deep connection with Binary Star, one that extended beyond his heroic persona. I scrolled past a couple of chapters of the lovey-dovey stuff to find the risque parts. Binary Star looks down at me, with lust draped across his ruby eyes. His formed chest heaved in lusty promises. lusty promises. Wyan, I need you more than light itself. Ever since I saw you at that club, dancing your worries away, I knew I needed you desperately. I will save the world over and over just to have your body once. Whoa. He places a deep, needy kiss onto my lips, hands following the dips and curves across my body. I can't suppress a moan. Binary Star gives me a bright smile. Don't worry, I will treat your body with care, dear Wyan, just like when I saved that bridge from the collapsing. What the heck? I laugh out loud. I wonder if the inconsistency and character is because nobody really knows how Binary Star would react to being horny. But I do. Every word makes me laugh. It's like, oh, as I can't help imagining Ray saying these ridiculous lines. Time flies by as I become absorbed in Binary Star fan fiction. The door slams and Ray enters through my apartment door. After walking in, he pauses, giving me a curious look. You look like you are up to no good, Jim. He looks tired, smelling a bit like smoke. You aren't in your hero uniform? I didn't do any frontline hero work today. Just some paperwork. I hop up, approaching him. You smell like smoke. Oh, do I? Sorry. There was a fire nearby the office. It must have settled in my hair. Okay. Mind if I take a shower here? Sure. You know where the towels are. Thanks. Ray showers and the smell of soap fills the apartment. I put on some music and open up the window to let some fresh air in. I think back to the news on the TV earlier today. It's a little weird that a building fire wasn't featured. Okay. Ray gets out of the shower, drying his hair off with a towel. Ray, I think I'm going a little stir crazy. I don't know how much more time I'll be able to stay cooped up inside. Ray grimaces. I know, I'm sorry. I'm just worried something will happen to you and I won't be able to find you. I was actually thinking, in the meantime, until we can find Double, would you move in with me? My place is larger, so you can move around a bit more. It also has better security, so you won't have to feel worried about staying here. I chew on my lip. I don't know. That's kind of sudden. He pats my head. I guess that was a bit sudden. Sorry. Maybe just think about it. I don't think it's very safe for you here. As long as Double is around and knows where you live, there is a chance he could come get you anytime. And honestly, that scares me. Jim, there isn't much time. Ray's phone buzzes. Sorry, I have to take this. He picks it up, leaving my apartment. My heart can't stop pounding at his offer. What the hell? That was so sudden. He isn't wrong that I'm in a very worrying position. But abandoning my apartment to move in with him seems extreme. After a half an hour or so, on the phone, I can hear the front door close. Ray returns inside. Sorry, some work stuff. No worries. Have you eaten yet? I shake my head. Not yet. Can I make you something? I would love that. What? You do not have to cook me a meal in my own apartment? Come on now. I don't mind. He walks towards the small kitchenette. To be honest, I enjoy cooking. I don't get a lot of opportunities to cook for someone else. So I like to. If that's okay with you? I guess so. I just feels bad. I should be cooking for you. Ray gives me a little smirk. I'm not so sure if I trust your cooking. You act like I poison you. I'm impervious to poison, so do you want to do any damage to me with that method? You say that as if I can do damage to you in other ways. Cause I can. Ray, Ray just smiles as he starts to chop up some vegetables. I watch him in the kitchen as my music plays in the background. He was surprisingly skilled at cooking. Soon enough, dinner was made and I sit down at the table with Ray. The veggie pasta smells delicious. Wow, Ray. He looks proud of his work. Dive in. I mumble a thanks for the meal. Start eating. Wow. Ray laughs. The pasta was incredibly good. If you have any preferences, let me know. I can cook just about anything. You can cook just about anything. That's my man for real. No, but that's actually like my man in real life. This is so good. I'd be happy with this again. Noted. I make quick work of dinner, not realizing how hungry I got. After dinner, I tried to do the dishes, but Ray ended up helping anyways. It was a strange feeling, living together even though we technically weren't. When cleanup was done, we sat and chatted about various things. My place has a pretty large kitchen, and it does feel like a shame not to use it. So I try to make the most of it. I love a look at Ray. What? I'm still surprised you can cook so well. I have other skills outside of saving citizens in distress, you know. I read about some of your skills earlier today. I joke. Ray gives me a skeptical look. Is that right? I pick up my phone and click on a random Binary Star fanfiction I was reading earlier. When Binary Star looked at you from across the club with his ruby eyes, you felt undressed on the spot. He grabs your hand, taking you to the quieter hallway where he pushes you against the wall, his plush lips encapsulating your own. Binary Star pulls back, heat in his eyes. Heroes have to blow out some steam too. And you look like the citizens. Wait, whoa! Whoa, that's insane. Excuse me? You just grabbed some random citizen and pulled him to the back? Ray walks over and standing over me. I hand him my phone and he starts to look, his eyes widened at the increasingly graphic nature of the fanfiction. Oh my gosh. My lord. Wow, Ray. Pretty bold of you. In a public nightclub, too. Ray glances up from the phone with a skeptical look. Did you? No, it was a fan fiction. There are 1,000 of these. A smirk appears on the Ray's lips. He leans towering over me closer. Is this the kind of stuff you like, Jim? A dangerous smile stretches across his face. Do you want me to drag you to the back of a club and take you off myself while covering your mouth so others don't hear you? My teasing has fully backfired. Ray gives a look of warning. My face heats up and I scoot back as sure he can hear my heartbeat from where I sit. No, I just thought it was funny. Ray shrugs. Too bad. Let me know if you change your mind. Too bad. Ray saunters off to the window to light a cigarette per usual. I'm unable to look him in the eye and hear him chuckle. I get up and get ready to go to sleep. I lay down in the bed, hyper aware of Ray's presence, but he stands looking out the window. After a while of failed attempts to fall asleep, I looked towards Ray. Ray? He glances at me. Hmm. Can you cuddle with me until I fall asleep? A small smile plays on his lips and he puts out his cigarette. Sure. He walks over, taking off his sweater. The bed dips as he drapes an arm around my waist. There was some comfortability with Ray that I wasn't used to. With him, I felt safe. I think about the special I watched earlier in the day. Ray? Yeah. Was Bing was still Sheriff Hart? Ray sucks his teeth and thought. It certainly wasn't easy. He wasn't a good person. Probably still isn't. We don't talk anymore. When was the last time you talked? Maybe 6 years ago or so. He was my guardian for about 11 years. Still was a deeply troubled person that hurt people wherever he went. Ray looks at my worried expression. He ruffles my hair with a sympathetic smile. Don't worry. He couldn't hurt me. He tried to once and learned his lesson. Since that day, he lost interest in messing with me. Still is the kind of trash that only punches down at people who won't fight back. The minute I turned 18, I left Still for good. The NAHA was forced to figure out the PR spin for the situation. I think they landed on something like Binary started paving his own path towards herodom. Something like that. Did you have a hard time with double vision? I chewed my lip in thought. Double wasn't always bad. He was very courteous to me most of the time. But things started to go bad and then didn't stop snowballing. I think maybe he was manipulative and violent all along, but because it wasn't pointed at me, I refused to look. And others people got hurt because of that. Listen. I sigh and Ray pulls me closer. He runs a hand through my hair comfortingly. The way he was in the warehouse, it was never that bad. Before I had an inclination that he was capable of killing me, now I know for sure that he is. It will be okay. I promise I will keep you safe. Yeah, until I do something that you don't want me to do. I glance up at Ray, who gives me a little smile. Why are you doing all of this, Ray? You have no obligation to spend all of your time watching over me. I'm thankful for your help, but I don't really understand your motives. Ray levels a look at me. A silence crosses over us as Ray studies my face. You don't have to say why if you're uncomfortable. Sorry. Ray places his hand on my cheek, pulling it softly so I face him. He looks at me quietly, a softness passing through his eyes. Jim, I love you. What? I'm in love with you, Jim. From the first moment I saw you, I fell for you. Every interaction with you after that only served to further solidify my love for you. I wanted to make you love me too. Ray gives a self-deprecating laugh, but I suppose I'm no good at making people love me without a PR team. My mouth hangs open, face heating up at the bold confession. You don't have to respond. I'm not looking for affirmation. I just thought you should know the significance I hold you in. If I lose you, I might as well lose everything. If you're gone, the world will crumble. That's kind of dramatic. I won't apologize for how I feel. I gaze up at Ray. It feels somewhat surreal that Ray, Binary Star, just confessed his love for me. I continue to stare, and his face starts to blush and he looks away. What is it? Nothing. You really love me? Don't He didn't while staring at me like that. He's embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. You are so insufferable. I laugh and Ray's expression softens up. He touches my face again, looming ever closer. You are so unbelievably perfect. Jim, can I kiss you? My heart leaps out of my chest. Ray's face so close to mine, I can almost feel the heat rolling off his skin. Yes? I nod slowly, and Ray's hand moves to the base of my head. He leans in, softly pushing his lips again into mine. His fingers weave into my hair, and I can feel him sigh. When I don't pull back, Ray deepens the kiss. My heart is hammering in my chest. I become greedy at the sensation of Ray's lips gently colliding into my own. I want to taste him. My fingers reach up, wrapping into the collar of Ray's shirt. I pull him closer. His hand tightens into my hair in response to my action. I push my tongue against his lips, and he parts his, brushing his tongue against my own. Ooh! He groans and pulls back, a small smile forming on his lips. I look up at him, hungry. We should probably stop. You choose now to be a gentleman. You choose now. When you literally murder people in front of me. Or I will have a harder time stopping myself later on. His black eyes are filled with warning. Okay. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. He leans down, placing a kiss on my forehead. You should try and get some sleep. You look exhausted. I look exhausted? Or you look like you haven't slept in weeks. I don't really get much sleep. Do you think you can sleep in with me tomorrow? Ray gives a little smile. We will see. Try to get some sleep, Star. You too, Ray. I cuddle into him, and his arms tighten around me. With the comfort of Ray's tight hold, I fall asleep in no time. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh my gosh. I wake up in the middle of the night. Ray's lowered voice bounces off the wall softly. Yeah, I did it. What else do you want me to say? You did something. So, what are you gonna do? Actually, let me rephrase that. What can you do? No, I'd rethink that if I were you. Oh, if you want to put me on trial, the reputation of your best hero is tarnished. You can fire me if you want. I'll gladly take the vacation. See, nothing else you can do. What now? Well, I'd recommend you keep a leash on your other heroes. Keep them the fuck away from my personal life. Frankly, I recommend that for any of you. You both know what I'm capable of, and I'm no longer satisfied with playing nice. Ray glances at me, and I shut my eyes to pretend I'm asleep. I'm unsure if he saw me looking at him, but he walks over and sits near me on the edge of the bed. He pats my head softly. He must have thought I was tossing and turning. After my breathing evens, he continues talking on the phone. I look forward to watching the NAHA actually do their fucking job for once. Please be my guest. Tell Herschel there isn't anything he can do either. You better contact risk management. There's nothing the NHA can do to make me back down. I'm getting what I want, and frankly, as far as I'm concerned, everything else can burn. Ooh, that's about all I have to say regarding that. Everything else can burn? That's crazy. Last thing, I'm going to be late getting to work tomorrow. Ray glances at me. I've decided to sleep in. Good night. Ray hangs up the phone. He gazes down at me, his thumb tracing the features of my face. Did I wake you up? I open my eyes slowly. The moonlight blankets Ray, like a halo, give him an ethereal glimmer. I shake my head slowly. A ghost of a smirk appears on his face. You're a good liar, Jim. Is everything okay? Ray gets into bed with me, his familiar warmth comforting. He runs his fingers down my cheek, leaning in. You don't have to worry about anything. I'll take care of everything. Go back to sleep. I nod and lay my head back down. Like, what else can you do? He said he's gonna take care of everything. I'm gonna lay myself back to sleep too. Soon, everything fades to familiar darkness. I wake up as something tickles my cheek. My eyes readjust and I glance over. Ray snoozes near me soundly. I try to get up, but his arms are wrapped tightly around my waist. He mumbles something and nuzzles the top of my head. Oh, Ray. 5 more minutes. Ray! His eyes flutter open. When he realizes his hold on me, his face goes pink. He scrambles up. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I usually don't. It's okay. You were pretty out of it there. Ray stretches out. Stretches. His tone, the body brushed against his thin black shirt. Yeah, I honestly haven't slept that soundly in ages. I'm surprised I even woke up. That makes 2 of us. Ray gets out of bed, yawning. Do you mind if I take a shower? No, not at all. Don't worry, I'll be out of your hair soon. He retreats into the bathroom. I eyed his duffel bag that he always brings with him. Okay, I'm about to save right here because I want to look at this other option, but I know if I do, I'm not gonna get the ending I want. So I'm gonna do both. I know it isn't a nice thing to do, but after everything that has been going on, I can hardly be blamed for being a little skeptical. I can't disregard what I saw in that warehouse. I can't disregard what was spoken about on the phone last night. Yeah, that's right. I can't disregard my safety by having him around my apartment so often without knowing if he's dangerous or not. He is dangerous. What do you mean? I first poke at his duffel bag. Then I slowly open it. Inside were some changes of clothing. Just a sweatshirt and some jeans. I smell them, but nothing seems off. They smell like Ray. Slightly of pine and toasted sugar. Ooh, that's nice. While I'm digging around in his clothing, I accidentally shake loose a carton of cigarettes. I would probably need some stress relief if the whole city relied on me too. I feel something hard in the pocket. It looks like a pen I used to have. There isn't much in his duffel bag. Some clothing, a notebook, some keys, a couple of phones. I hear a bump in the shower and realize I probably don't have too much more time to snoop. He knows that you're snooping in there. That's why he just bumped in the shower. He's like, dang, they going through my bag? I want to look at the notebook. I glance at the small notebook. It seemed like an odd thing to carry for a superhero. I flip it open. On the pages, there are small drawings of different planets and notes. Drawings and notes go on for pages and pages. Something about the handwriting feels off to me. To confirm my suspicion, I hopped to my nightstand, grabbing a coffee sleeve from Ray I've kept. My suspicions were correct. The handwriting on the coffee sleeve and the handwriting from the first good chunk of pages in the notebook are not similar at all. As the pages continues, the handwriting gets closer to the handwriting that is on the coffee sleeve. Is this all Ray, or is this someone else too? The drawings on the pages always looked a bit childish, never seeming to change. The pages near the end trail off. A chunk of pages are missing. And the final page has an image of 2 spears and the words "we" orbit around each other. As I'm returning everything to duffel bag, a wallet tumbles out, flopping against the floor. A square paper slides out the wallet as it hits the ground. I snag it out of the ground, opening the wallet to put it back inside. As I flip around the small square, my hand pauses. My heart threatens to leap out my chest. On the small square that was tucked inside the wallet, there was a very familiar view. One I saw when looking in the mirror. A view of myself around 3 years ago. It's me in my villain outfit, petting a cat? As the shower shuts off, I'm jolted back to reality. I shove the picture back inside the wallet and bury it back into the bag, zipping it up just how it was before. I lay myself casually onto the bed, pretending to read a book that has been sitting on my nightstand for over a month at this point. A couple of minutes later of pretend reading, Ray exits the restroom. He approaches and leans against the wall where he usually does, by the window. This time, instead of smoking a cigarette, he's fully focused on me. His intense look makes me squirm. There's something distant, disconnected about his eyes. So, you were digging through my stuff or something? Did you have fun reading through my notebook? I would have read it for you if you asked me nicely. Ray levels a look at me. It seems like you are. Seems you are unnerved by me on some level. Well, yeah? That you don't trust me. Well, that's common. I think when you're first starting out relationships, you know? He pushes himself off on the wall and walks towards me. So, ask me whatever you want. If you ask, I'll tell you anything. What do you want to know, Jim? Okay, this is actually where I need to save it. If though, I'm gonna keep that there. So, I'm gonna ask how he got his abilities, but I think I need to ask him why he has a photo of me. How'd you get your abilities? I recall what Luke Blaze told me a couple days ago. Ask Ray how he got his abilities. I look up at Ray and he looks back with a slightly distressed expression on his face. He knows what I have thought. Tell me, Ray. His lips tighten and he works a hand through his hair. His body is tense and he glances back at me. Ray, you said anything. I know. Ray? Fuck. He curses under his breath. I narrow my eyes. What's your ability, Ray? He looks at me directly, his eyes so deeply black that they might just swallow me whole. Even the room feels a bit dimmer due to its pressure. They call me Binary Star. Why? Because you shine so brightly against the evil of night? Ray lets out a sound somewhere between a scoff and a laugh. If only that was the case, Star. What are binary stars? Is this a silence? Is this a science lesson or something? Ray stares down at me with an immovable expression. He's clearly not in the mood for jokes. A solar system where there are two stars? In a binary system, there is a primary star and a secondary star. Depending on their orbit, they can be classified as wide binaries and close binaries. I'm unsure where this is going, but the tone of Ray's voice keeps me from speaking. In a close binary, mass can be transferred between the two. The primary star can exert gravitational force strong enough to pull in the smaller star, cannibalizing it completely. A silence settles between the two of us, an understanding that leaves me queasy. I am said to be the hero with countless abilities, but in reality, my ability is just one: to pull in smaller stars and devour them whole. Every ability I have, I killed for. Criminals, villains, civilians, even other heroes. Some were forced upon me. Others were of my own volition. My stomach sinks. It's not out of the question that he would be able to slaughter people so easily. After all, I witnessed it for myself. But some part of me felt disturbed. I won't deny what I am, Jim. Luke was right. I am a monster. I'm not a hero from the stars. I am essentially only one thing: a government funded military weapon. Nothing can change that. Despite Ray's stony facade, I can sense some sadness in his tone. I may be a monster, but I promise I will keep you safe if you let me. I'm not sure how to respond. Some part of me knows thank you is an appropriate response for the situation. Ray can sense the conflicting expressions that drift across my face. I know that was a lot. I'll let you rest. Ray gathers his stuff and leaves my apartment. When the door closes, I let go of a breath I didn't realize I was holding. I am left in silence with only my thoughts. It's obvious that Ray, or rather binary star, is dangerous to some extent. But when he talks about himself without the mask on, something about him just feels so lonely, distant. I sit down, thinking over the previous interaction on repeat. I spend most of the day trying to research information about binary star. Okay, I did not mean to do that. Okay, I'm going to save that there. And then we're going to load. So we can, why the heck he has a photo of us? Why do you have a photo of me? Why do you have a photo of me in your wallet? A photo from 3 years ago? Do you remember what you were doing in that photo? I try and think back. What was I doing during the time 3 years ago? Wait a minute. I need to see if I can actually still get the other ending if I don't ask about the photo. So I'm probably gonna go back to the other, because that's just the timeline I want. I want the timeline where he tells me about his powers. Yeah, I just want that timeline. So I'm pretty sure I can still get the ending I want with that. So I'm gonna go back to the other save file when I finish reading this one. Yeah, because I just want y'all to know this information if you haven't ever seen the story before. What was I doing during that time 3 years ago? My eyes widened. I was robbing a house. I looked panicked at Ray. I'm not gonna turn you in or anything, dummy. At that time, I was on my way to the next assignment when I saw you break into the house of legislator Keck. I was going to quickly take care of you, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. It was an odd feeling. Before that moment, I never really had any issues getting rid of criminals. I truly believe that if someone commits a crime, they're opening themselves up to punishment, that the world was better off without them. But that day, something changed. I kept watching you run around, playing with the cat, and something in me just couldn't compute that you were a criminal. As eyes peer into mine, you had a bag of everything you came there for in hand. All the jewels, money, blackmail. So without a doubt, you are a criminal. But I couldn't get myself to dispose of you. So I became curious. I kept trying to predict where you would hit next, just so I could catch a glimpse of you. Sometimes I was right, sometimes I was wrong. Stalker. Ray laughs. I guess I became a little obsessed. You broke my ideals and I had to figure out why. Why didn't you say anything? I couldn't just talk to you. If you, a petty criminal, knew that you were on Binary Star's radar, you would have disappeared from the city, possibly even a country the next day. But eventually, you disappeared anyways. By that time, I didn't realize how much of me depended on you. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. You were all I thought about. You had become my binary star. Without you, my balance was off. I became a zombie during my day. I would just smile and say what they wanted me to. And at night, I sought you out. I finally found you 3 weeks ago. I transferred to work in the city. I purchased a condo. I formulated the perfect plan to meet you. Okay, I know he stalked me, but like he kind of had a decent reason for it. He was interested, but he couldn't just come up to me. But since I quit being a villain, he's like, okay, now I can put my plans to action and actually get with you. That doesn't change the fact that he's a stalker. Look, he wanted to shoot his shot. Okay, he finally got his chance. You were never supposed to figure out that I was binary star. Well, you did a poor job of doing that. I was hoping that you would either fall for me or binary star, not both. Ray sighs and rubs his forehead in frustration. I just didn't expect your old partner to also try and chase you down too. And now I know he truly won't stop until he's 6 feet under. Okay, now. Ray levels an intense gaze at me. After 3 years, I came to the conclusion that you are what matters. Not crime, not justice, not criminals, or villains or civilians, or even Earth itself. It's you, Jim. Ray levels his gaze at me so closely I feel like I can hear his heartbeat if I focus hard enough. Jim, I promise I will keep you safe. I may not be the perfect shining hero from the stars that everyone claims I am, but I will be your hero. That you will be. I'm not sure how to respond. Some part of me knows thank you is an appropriate response for the situation. Ray can sense the conflicting expression that drift across my face. I know that was probably a lot. I'll let you rest. He pauses as if he wants to say something, then decides just to leave without a wave. He got us the stuff next to my apartment. Okay. We're trying to research binary star. Right. The sun is already beginning to set, and the restlessness sets in. After a while, I can't help but do something about my complicated feelings at hand. Search for information. I can't help but to feel uneasy about binary star. I decided to continue to search up some additional information about him. I look, but there truly isn't much information to be found. The information that does exist is hard to parse between fact or fiction. While searching, there are a lot of clickbaity titles about his love life, or what he does in his time off. But I continue to search for real information. I finally stumble across a post that sounds different from the others. I click on it. Binary star, the truth the Hero Association doesn't want you to know. User, yeah, that. This is going to sound crazy, but I have nothing left to live for, so I'm just going to say it. Nobody asked. Binary star is human. Didn't ask. I'm not making this up. My dad passed away last week. We were cleaning out his office and found some documents from his work. They confirmed that Binary Star was raised in a government lab. This whole time, they've been training him to be a weapon of war. Dude, go touch the grass, seriously. It worked too. Remember how the Southern War ended 16 years ago after going on for 2 decades? It's because they dropped in Binary Star. There are testimonies from locals. Well, that is before they were slaughtered to cover up the massacres of the heroes. At the time, Binary was 16 years old and possibly massacred hundreds. Yikes. Wait, so how old is he? So if he's like 32? You ain't that old. As news tried to break from the independent journalists about the massacres at the hands of the heroes, The NAHA debuted Binary Star that year to create distraction from the public, and it worked. It distracted you from getting some. Oh my gosh! I looked. I looked into some of this stuff, and it kind of checks out. Skeptical at first, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. The more I dug, the more it checked out. Look at this image I finally found. An image appears on screen. It is a blurry ray in military gear. User that's Binary Star. Doesn't look completely like him, but because they always Photoshop him in photos. User but that's 100% him. There was no reason for an undercover hero to be there. Unless they were cleaning up some loose ends. Some locals or journalists in hiding. Dude, now you too? Is there a grass shortage or something? I'm serious. Hello, okay? You and can talk. You and that person can talk crazy together. I'm logging off. Nerds. You online? Guess not. Dude, what the F? I think I'm getting paranoid. There is this fan that keeps following me. I'm not making this up. I'm getting freaked out. I type a hello in the chat and wait for a few minutes, but nobody comes online. Why? That is so stupid. Why would you do that? I shut the screen off, alone with my thoughts. It's a common rumor that the Hero Association used heroes to win the Southern War. But it is literally a war crime to do so, and the heroes are only for justice. So the general populace basically wrote it off as a conspiracy theory. I swallowed thickly. After seeing Binary Star casually kill all those people in the warehouse, some part of me can't help but think it's not a simple theory anymore. I put my computer away, starting to feel a little sick. After reading all of that, some part of me felt like I knew more, but understood less of Binary Star than ever before. I started to feel exhausted. Ray isn't home, and it's already pretty late. I can't help but to wonder if it's because of our discussion earlier. It certainly left off on an awkward note. A bit of sadness stung in my heart. Despite everything, some part of me still trusted Ray. I get into bed, resting my body against the plush blankets. My eyes closed, covering me in the familiar darkness of sleep. I dream of a peculiar dream, one where Double, Haley, and myself are all heroes. We fight to defeat the ultimate villain, Binary Star. I drive a sword through his chest. He erupts into planetary dust, showering glitter all over myself. I don't feel sad, yet tears swell and pour down my face. The planet heals. It's finally over. The dust falls into sparks, and soon the earth catches fire. A wild flame licks my face and my body. I can't breathe. Help, I can't. As I dream, the smell of smoke drifts across my senses. I cough a bit, turning over. My eyes flash open as the scent of smoke permeates the area. I immediately sit up. My whole apartment is consumed by flames. I blanch. How could it have been spread this? How could it spread this much without me waking up? Why do you think? Use that little noggin of yours. I quickly stumble out of my bed. The ground is hot as flames lick the far wall. I cough as smoke starts to get in my lungs. I can't stop coughing. This is bad. I glance around my apartment as it's doused in flames. I cough harder as I kneel over. The smoke is suffocating. I have to do something fast. I think I'm supposed to go for the balcony. Sprint. Yeah. We're not asking him to help us. No. Because I don't want Binary Star. I want Ray. And we need to have an honest discussion. very honest. I make my way towards the balcony door. It's the closest to me, so it only takes a few seconds to get to. When I reach out to the doorknob, I can feel the heat even before touching it. I turn around, yanking a sheet off the bed and wrap my hand in it. I try to push, but the balcony door doesn't budge. I curse under my breath. Why does it have to be jammed down of all times? I use my full body weight to push against it, but again, no dice. My vision begins to spot as my lungs desperately search for any air they claim that for any air they can gain purchase in. Again, I press my body weight against the door, but it doesn't even flinch under my full pressure. My legs collapse, shaking as my vision swirls. I reach towards the door, crawling on my knees. My body heaves and coughs, unable to relieve my lungs of the suit. As my vision begins to fade, suddenly a rush of fresh air hits me. I'm disappointed in you. Binary Star looks down at me, radiant as ever. Even in these circumstances, he glows. You would really rather die than ask me to save you. Do you hate me? Are you disgusted by what you found out about me? I'm not. I just want to talk. Do you think I'm a monster too? No, I don't. I'm unable to answer, all my words being swallowed by coughs and desperate greedy gasps for the sudden influx of fresh air. You don't have to say anything. I already know you do. Binary Star smiles kindly. His words do not match his expression. I debated leaving you here, watching the life fade from your eyes, unshackling myself from humanity once and for all. That's nice to know. You know, for being honest, all right, that's cool. But at the same time, I'm really struggling with that decision. So, I'll give you a chance to make that decision for me. He approaches, smiling as kind as ever. I struggle to my feet to meet the hero eye to eye. Why? I choked out between coughs. To be frank, I'm tired of being a paragon for humanity. It's clear that now even you don't see me as a hero either. No, you're Ray. You're Ray. Okay? And you know why I didn't go out to that balcony? Because I'm not finna scream for Binary Star. Oh, I want you. Okay? I want you. I'm risking my life for you. You probably don't even see me as human. Not one ounce of affection left in your heart for me. How do you know this? That's clearly not true. And you're even right to think so, to do so. And I want to retire, I guess. He pauses in a thought. Well, I guess retire may not be the correct word for it. He chuckles. What you experienced earlier with alien attack was just a reckoning of sorts. They have many armies waiting for the world to attack. It will happen in a week or so. They will have ships, bodies, and weapons beyond our comprehension. The other heroes will only serve as special fodder for ungodly mechanisms. I could defeat them all. It won't be pretty, but I could. He brushes a hand through his hair. But you see, Jim, I'm having a hard time finding the will to fight for humanity, to save them. And the only thing that would make me even remotely want to. He glances downward at me, but his silence falls thick. To be honest, at this point, I'd rather just watch it all burn. Let the aliens do the hard work, and then I'll play cleanup crew. I don't know what to say, actually. But I guess it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna straight up say it. It's cruel. It's cruel. Humanity is cruel. And despite it all, despite the glamour, the advertisements, the campaigns, I am human. He looks at my scared, doubtful form. I know to you, to some, I probably look like a monster. And believe me when I say I desperately tried to shelter you from that. You didn't try hard enough. To everyone else, I look like a savior. But frankly, I'm tired of wrestling with strangers' views and expectations of myself, my identity. Then let me see you as you are, then. I can't. I am inexorable. Inexorable. Whatever that word is, I don't know. Only when I see the earth shatter under my force will I be forced to mourn the loss. Only as the planet scatters and drifts, as a trillion glowing particles, will I have to reckon with the conclusion of if I am human or monster. Some part of me thought you could save me. He chuckles in a self-deprecating way, depreciating. I realized I was wrong to even place the expectation on you. I'm sorry for that, Jim. Yeah, the binary star hero sheds his mask. He is Ray. Despite it all, they are one and the same. That's my man, right there. He reaches his hand out towards me. Ray is shining brighter than ever, lighting up the whole room with his divine glow. Some stars are created by being ripped apart by black holes. Jim, do you want to be torn apart, shredded piece by piece, to be born whole, more bright and beautiful than ever before? This is crazy. This is crazy. You're asking me if I want to be torn and shredded, ripped to pieces, to be sucked up in your black hole and become part of your existence? Some part of me felt that it wasn't necessarily a question he was posing. If I take his hand, I'm gonna have to go back because I realized that it's not there. But if I take his hand, I'm so down bad that I take his hand and it's like, yes, I would totally love to be ripped and shredded, torn piece by piece. I would love to become part of you, Ray. Like, yeah, no, absolutely not. We're loading back. Child, okay, let me go back because I clicked "Be Your Hero" this time, even though it's not a affection point choice. Binary Star looks at me in genuine surprise and laughs. Chim, if you weren't so cute, I'd feel bad for you. This is me. For so long, I imagined and marveled over what world I could be from. A child from the stars, they called me. Imagine my disappointment that all along the star that birthed me was this planet Earth. To a mother who would rather sell me off as a government project than miss a hit of fentanyl. Earth was my star, a sullied, fading star, infected. He levels to look at me. His eyes look like eternity, when I am the only being sitting upon his rotting star, amongst the trees, when, in silent northern lights, then maybe I can finally exhale. Mm-mm. He smiles peacefully. Some part of me thought you could save me. Okay. I take Ray's hand, and my heart thumps out of my chest. He smiles beautifully, full of cathartic hurt. I understood in that moment that I am the bone that needs to be broken in order to be set in place and healed properly. No, I am not. The day I met you was the first day I learned something new about myself. I learned that I could love, that I could hope to be human. Ray holds me close. His hand strokes my cheek. Thank you for letting me dream, Jim. I thought I could change, that I could be something other than human or monster. But in the end, I have a quasar that shines around me like a halo. Is that how you say it? It pulls matter from everything else around it into a single volatile ring. That ring will shred and swallow until it's had its fill, until nothing else can be cannibalized. It will rage on until it fades away from existence completely. He brushes some soot off my forehead. He pauses, looking upon my face. A moment of hesitation clouds his features. Save me. Save me. Don't do this to me. Please, don't suck me up in your black hole. Tear me apart. Rip me to shreds. I give Ray a bold look. Save me, Ray. You told me to call out to you for help. And now I am. I don't want Binary Star to save me. I don't want him. I want you. I'm asking you, Ray. I want to stay with you. I don't want oblivion. I don't want silence. I don't want a greater purpose. I want you. I want to be with you. Human or monster, it doesn't matter. I don't care. You will never trust me. We can work on that. Are you not willing to work on that? I can't help but to laugh, even in these circumstances. Ray, after everything, do you really expect me to be able to trust you? You hardly have ever given me a reason to trust you. But I can tell that you care for me, and all I know is some part of me does love you, and I don't want to throw that away because of some uncertainty. Yeah, exactly. I'm risking it all. Through whatever come with me. For a chance to be with you, I'll take it all away. I want to try and learn to trust you, the real you. Ray looks at me like he doesn't quite know what to say. I want to go on normal dates with you. I want to get in fights, cry, apologize, laugh, have awkward misunderstandings. I want to surmount differences together. Yeah, like a real relationship. All this time, you have been what people wanted you to be. But the truth is, I don't want you to be anyone. I want to grow into someone with you. Even if I'm not the hero binary star you want. I told you I don't want binary star, I want you. I fell for Ray in a coffee shop, not the edited hero on a magazine. And I am not ready to give that up yet. So please, give us a chance to figure this out together. Yeah, instead of resorting to trying to suck me up in your black hole. Please, hold on a bit longer. Defend this planet a bit longer. Please don't give up on this. On us. I entangle our fingers together. Ray is silent as he watches me. His shoulders slump in a tired posture. There we go. It's okay. I got you. He gives a deep exhale of air. I promise I'll make you the best black coffee. Ray's eyes crinkle. That is an offer I can't turn down. This is the money back guarantee, right? He squeezes my hand lightly. I crack a smile. Always. In an instant, Ray places a sweet kiss on my lips. He lifts me up easily in his arms. Ray? I gasp in shock. What? He looks down at me with a coy smirk. I'm really craving some exclusive Jim's black coffee right now, aren't you? His face is so close to mine I can't help but to look away. He chuckles. Wrap your arms around my neck and hold on tight. I do as I'm told, and in an instant we are in the air flying. The night sky is beautiful, but the cold air makes me shiver. Ray holds me a bit tighter, draping his iconic cape again over my back. Ray is still an enigma to me. Some part of me thinks I will never quite understand him. But for the first time, we have some semblance of understanding between us. And it makes me want to learn more about who Ray is. I want to discover the bad, the good, the deep dark shadows that are cast from his luminosity. I close my eyes, squeezing Ray tight, hoping, praying to anyone for a future that is kind. This was so good. Don't ask me to play the other endings. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to see them. I only want Ray. and I got my Ray. And that's it. I hope this video was fun. I hope it was entertaining. I hope maybe it might have been even insightful. I hope I didn't annoy you too much with my singing. But most of all, whatever this video was for you, I hope it was positive. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.